called the cultivation of loving kindness. So before we get there, if you like, what I'm going to just say is just a few words on meditation posture. So yeah, when we meditate, it's really important that we're comfortable, we're alert, and we have a sense of stability and a sort of stableness to the ground. So there's a number of ways we can achieve that. So I imagine a lot of us are going to be sat in chairs because we're sat in front of a computer screen. So if you are sat in a chair like I am, just ensuring your back is kind of flat to the back of the chair. Your feet are flat to the ground because that will give you the stability that you need. And you're sat reasonably kind of straight. You don't need to be perfectly straight. Backs aren't perfectly straight, but just reasonably straight. So one way to check this is you could kind of imagine that there's a thread at the top of the head that's kind of pulling you upwards. So you're looking for a sense of groundedness in the bottom half of your body, a sense of almost like the bottom of your body is like roots going into the ground. And then from the kind of waist upwards, you're looking for a sense of uplift and a sense that there's a kind of a piece of string at the top of your head that's pulling you upwards. So yeah, we're looking for those three qualities anyway: alertness, stability, and comfort. So just making any little adjustments that you might need to do some meditation together. So what I'll be doing is just leading us in some general mindfulness practice. So becoming mindful, aware of various aspects of our experience, our bodies, our breath, what's happening in our senses, what we can hear, what we can see. And then from that, we'll lead into a meditation called the Metta Bhavana. So metta is an ancient Indian word. It means something like kindness or friendliness. And bhavana means to cultivate. So if we put them together, we get the cultivation of kindness or the cultivation of loving kindness, the practice sometimes called. And what we're trying to do really is ultimately we're trying to develop a sense of well-wishing, a sense of kindness towards ourselves and everyone else, basically. So regardless of whether we know someone, even regardless of whether we like someone, we're still trying to wish that person well. And ultimately, where we're going with this practice, we're trying to develop that sense of kindness, well-wishing to all beings without reservation, which is obviously pretty different to how it usually is for us. Usually we've got people in our life that we like, easy to feel kind towards them, to want to help them. We've got people that we don't really know. We're probably largely indifferent to them, or at least they're a bit abstract to us. So it's hard to get an emotional connection. And then there's other people who maybe we find quite difficult in our lives. But we're trying to go beyond all that, really. And we're just trying to wish everyone well equally, including ourselves, actually. And ourselves can often be, in some ways, the hardest part. But we actually start with ourselves in this practice. But what I've been saying recently about this meditation is that because we have this sense of bhavana, sense of cultivation, I think it can give us the wrong impression of how to do the meditation. So we can have an impression that I don't have kindness and I need to do this meditation to develop it, and then I can share it with myself and other people. So it's cultivate it. It's actually much better and truer, I think, to just trust that you have kindness. Trust that is there. We all have kindness. And then you just, in a way, you just kindness that is already there. And then you just share that with other people. There's a teaching in the Buddhist tradition that says, what you dwell on, you become. So we contact the kindness that is already there, which is there. We dwell on that, and then that then encourages it, and then we can share it with more and more people. Yeah, and I think what that does when we approach the practice in that way is it gives a different flavor almost. So what I'm trying to say is that we have a more receptive attitude rather than a more active attitude, because if we think we need to cultivate this thing called kindness, we tend to try too hard, and actually that then inhibits us. Whereas if we just trust that we have kindness, it's there, and we contact it and dwell upon it, then the attitude we have is much more receptive. It's like, oh, there is this thing, and we can just receive it into our experience and dwell on it there. So we're looking for a more receptive attitude rather than a more active attitude. I hope that makes some kind of semblance of sense. And we're going to do the practice in, we've got time today, so we're going to do all 5 stages of the practice. So we're going to start with ourselves, and then we're going to bring to mind a good friend. So someone you know well, who, yeah, you want them to be happy. Like, it's not that difficult for you to have positive feelings towards them. Bring someone like that to mind in stage 2. And then in stage 3, we'll bring to mind someone we don't know very well. So maybe it's someone on your street. I've been saying these last weeks that I've kind of got to know my neighbours a bit more recently during lockdown. So I often bring one of my neighbours to mind who I don't really know, but yeah, they're someone who I can get an image of. I don't have any strong feelings about them. And we call them the neutral person. So that's who we bring to mind in the 3rd stage. And then in the 4th stage, we bring to mind someone we're finding difficult. So this could actually be a friend. Sometimes my friends fall in this category. Maybe we're just not getting on with them at the minute. Or it could be someone who actually you have a long, you just have difficulties with. Maybe it's a work colleague, someone like that. Yeah, we're going to wish them well as well. And then we're going to just spread out to more and more people, include more and more people. So I hope that sounds good and that makes sense. And so we'll just get ready to meditate now. And we'll meditate for about 25 minutes, something like that. So making any small adjustments you might need to get comfortable for this meditation. Hi, Richard. So just making yourself comfortable, making any little adjustments you need. Maybe you need to move your bum around a bit to get really comfy. Making sure your hands are supported, maybe in your lap. And taking a few deep breaths. And as you breathe out, just completely let go. And there's a kind of common misconception out there that you meditate with your brain or something like that. Sometimes it can be called like mind training. But actually in the Buddhist tradition, the mind isn't just this thing that's balanced on your neck. It includes your whole body. So when we meditate with our whole bodies. And in order to do that, we need to feel into our body. So just becoming aware of your body, the physical sensations of the body. Maybe noticing your feet on the ground, your bum on the chair or cushion. Maybe just noticing the weight of the body. So we're trying to become embodied. And when we allow our awareness to sink down into our body, in a sense, we're directing our awareness away from our thinking, which enables us to kind of experience things differently. We're so used to mediating our whole experience through thinking, through concepts, through ideas, through stories. But when we meditate, we're trying to have a more direct experience of the world through our senses, starting with our body. We'll just briefly go through the body just to help us become more grounded. So you could notice sensations around your forehead. Imagining the forehead softening and relaxing. And then down into the eyes, eye sockets, eyeballs, all around the eyes. And the cheeks and the lips. Maybe your lips are moist or they're dry. Just notice that. And the whole head. See if you can notice the sensations in your head without getting drawn into thought. It's just the physical sensations of the head, the tingling, the warmth, the coolness, whatever's there. And then from here, awareness is going to flow down into the neck. Maybe you notice your collar pressing against your neck. In your shoulders. Just noticing the shoulders. I often like to imagine that my awareness is like a warm light. And it's now just filling the shoulders. And then from here, it's going to flow down into the elbows, tops of the arms, the lower arms and the wrists, and into the hands. Hands just filling with this warm light of awareness. Just noticing the hands for a moment. Noticing your hands pressing against each other or your hands in your lap. The pressure of your fingers. And then from here, this warm light of awareness flows into our chest. Notice the chest rising and falling with the breath. And down into the belly. Filling with this warm light of awareness. And into the back of the body, the top, middle, lower back. Might be parts of your body where you feel pain. See if you can be aware of that. without resisting it or kind of getting drawn into it. You just notice it and just hold it in this bigger space of the whole body. And from here, just allowing the awareness, the warm light of awareness, to flow down into the buttocks, sitting bones, and the pelvic region. And down into the legs, the warm light of awareness just flowing down into the legs. Notice any tingling, sensation, pressure. Down into the knees, and the lower legs, and the ankles. Into the feet. Noticing the feet against the ground. So just being aware of the feet as they fill with this warm light of awareness. Now just for a moment, just becoming aware of the whole body. This is mindfulness of the body. Become aware of other things, there's sounds. Sound of my voice, sound of maybe people or creaks in your home. Another thing that we can just receive into this awareness. Also light coming through your closed eyelids. It's not totally dark behind the eyes. There's colour, shape. Maybe you can even notice smells or tastes. Maybe you can notice that the air against your exposed skin in your face and your hands is cool. So we can have a spacious awareness that includes the body, but also includes the space around us through our senses, through light, through sound, even with our eyes closed. And I'd like us to try and stay connected with this sense of spacious awareness as we move into the metta bhavana. And we're going to do it in a really simple way. So within this spacious awareness, we just become, well, we become aware or we pay attention to our heart. We're just becoming aware of the heart area and noticing how you feel. However you're feeling, that is totally fine. Just receiving how you feel into this spacious awareness. And gradually, just imagining that from your heart, there's a kind of warm light that's radiating through your body. And it's the warm light of kindness. Just being receptive to anything that's happening. Maybe there's a nice feeling in your hands or a sense of warmth in your belly, or your face. Just notice that. Notice wherever there is a sense of pleasure or warmth. Might be quite subtle. Just opening to this warm light. It's radiating through your body. Maybe it feels a bit like sunshine falling on your face. And if you get distracted, which you will, and you realize you've been distracted, just kindly come back to the body, come back to this sense of spacious awareness, and come back to this image of warm light. So really pay attention to whenever there's a sense of striving or a sense of wanting something to happen. Notice that and just try and rest back into this spacious awareness. And just receive this warm light of kindness from your heart. Just trust that it's there. We're going to gradually move on in the meditation. And we do that quite simply just by staying connected to the sense of spacious awareness. We're just bringing a good friend to mind. Maybe you have an image of them in your mind, or you could briefly remember when you last saw them. Whatever helps you connect with your friend. And your friend, they're probably searching for happiness and trying to escape suffering. And in that way, they're exactly like you. So just sharing this warm light with them. Maybe just imagining that this warm light from your heart is radiating out from you, and it's falling down on them like sunshine. Being sensitive to anywhere in the body where there's warmth or pleasure, any sense of ease. Just paying attention to that if that's there. It's important that we notice any pleasure that arises when we're appreciating ourselves or another person. And if that's not there, well, that's fine as well. Just continue with the practice. So just receiving your friend into this warm light. Not having really to do anything. And just allowing the friend to fade now. And bringing to mind someone you don't know very well. And even though you don't know this person, you know that they're human. And as a human, probably what they most deeply want is to be happy, to be free of suffering. Probably don't find it easy to find those things. And in that way, they're exactly like you, they're exactly like your good friend. So just these next few minutes, just sharing this warm light of kindness with them. And we do that simply just by bringing them to mind and inviting them into this warm light that's radiating from your heart. Don't actually need to do anything. You're just inviting them into this space that's already there. This sphere of kindness, sphere of warm light. Now, it might be that you get distracted more quickly with this person because we don't know them. We're not so interested in them. So you might get distracted, and that's all right. Just kindly come back to the body, come back to this sense of spacious awareness and warm light, and then just bring them to mind again. Connect with them again. Allowing them to fade from your mind now. And just connecting with yourself for a moment. How's your posture? Do you need to make any small adjustments? And then from here, just bringing to mind someone we're finding difficult right now. And this might not be easy. Maybe when we bring them to mind, there's a sense of not wanting them there, desire to push away. And if that's happening, just connecting with this kindness that you have for yourself, this warm light that's radiating from your heart. And then if you feel able, just inviting them into this sphere of kindness, this sphere of warm light. This difficult person, they're also really trying to be happy, really trying not to suffer. And it's not easy. So just, if you're able, just allowing yourself to share this warm light with them for the next few minutes. because this kindness is already there, this warm light is already there, we don't actually need to do anything. We're just bringing these people in. And it's not like they sap it away from us. We just share it. And by sharing it, it kind of gets stronger. So now just allowing the difficult person to be there, but bringing back the other people from the practice as well. So inviting back your friend, the neutral person, and yourself. And just everyone is sat in this sphere of warm light. It's getting shared equally. Warm light of kindness. And then gradually we just expand. This warm light just expands out into the world. All the people in front of you. You could imagine that warm light just radiating in front of you into your neighbour's house, your street and beyond. Everyone behind you, to the left and the right, above and below, down into the earth. This warm light just radiates out in all directions, just spreading kindness in all directions without reservation, without any discrimination. Encounters probably quite a lot of suffering right now. It also encounters some joy as well. But it's just all being received into this sphere of warm light in all directions. And then for the last moment, just relax in making any effort. And just sitting in this space. Not trying to do anything in particular now. And when you're ready, just gradually bringing the meditation to a close. Moving the body gently, opening the eyes.